Hello and welcome. My name is Anthony Scardillo. I'm a professor of marketing and advertising. I'm here today. We're going to be talking about ethics and sustainable advertising and marketing. I should tell you a little something about me and why this is important to me. I'm a former advertising and marketing executive, did that for many years. And in 2004, I transitioned into academia and have not really looked back and really enjoy being a professor and enjoy passing on some information. So not only am I an academic, I'm a practicer. So I really can give you, I straddle both sides of the alley, so I really can give you some very good information. Like I said, what we're talking about today is sustainable marketing and being responsible and being ethical, which a lot of people will tell you is not what marketing is about. And I think that that's important as we move forward for the future, that we need to be considering sustainable marketing, we need to be practicing social responsibility, and we need to be ethical in our ways of marketing. So that's kind of what this presentation is about today. When we talk about sustainable marketing, we talk about stuff that is socially and environmentally friendly. It's being responsible in many, many ways. We want to meet the needs of today's consumers, but we also want to be thinking about tomorrow's consumers and what the impact will have on them. You know, what we throw out today, this plastic bottle I use as a water bottle. When I throw it out, what happens to it? Does it go into a landfill? Does it get recycled? Those are the kinds of ideas that we need to be thinking about. We need to be thinking about the future generations, and that's why this is critical. Here's the problem, and let me tell you what, marketers are really get a lot of criticism about these items. High prices, deceptive practices, high pressure selling, poor service, and planned obsolescence are just some of them, and we'll take a closer look. Some of the complaints about high prices. Well, you know, prices are high because of advertising and promotion. We spend too much money on advertising and promotion, and we also mark up our products a lot. There are many companies, there are many industries that will mark up a product 400, 500%. So they'll buy this water bottle for $1 and then they'll sell it to you for $25, $30. That's just kind of an example. Not that this manufacturer does that. The advertiser, the marketer's responses to this is that, well, you know what? Advertising informs the people about the availability and the merits of the brand. Yes, I agree with that, but do we need to be making that much money? And the other complaint they say is, well, you know, consumers just don't understand the price of doing business. And yes, there is a price associated with the cost of business. But again, when we talk about excessive markups, you know, how much are we marking the product up? I'm a big fan of free market economies, which allow us to do things like that. But I think there comes a point where we have to say, yeah, we're really taking advantage of our customers. And that's why we're talking about ethical marketing. So many people talk about deceptive practices, that companies use deceiving prices. They use deceiving promotion package. They use deceiving packaging. I was looking at a package the other day, and it was a package of pencils. And it was this big box of pencils, and you opened it up, and there were 5 pencils in it. It looked like there was 50 pencils in it, but there was only 5 pencils in it because the way they packaged it made it look like there was a lot more. That's very misleading, of course, and those are the kinds of tricks that certainly are not the kind of sustainable marketing you want to be part of. Things that you can do is you can support legislation. Your lawmakers can make legislation that will stop that kind of practice. You can have a voice with harmful products. Those are products that you know, really could cause you danger. And certainly products that are not made well. something we call in the United States shoddy marketing, shoddy products that are poorly made. Being in the sales business, this is a complaint that we've often seen, is high pressure selling, where the salesman says, you got to buy this now. This deal, this is only good for right now. If you don't buy it now, you'll never be able to buy this product again at this price. So everybody says, oh my gosh, this is such a great opportunity, I'm going to buy it. And then the next week, the product is on sale again for even a cheaper price. So, you really have to be careful about that one. And we do use in sales some high pressure selling tactics. I'm a believer of long-term relationships with businesses. I think that is the best merit. I've been out of the business world for over 20 years now. I've been in academia for 20 years now. I still stay in touch with many of my clients from when I was in the advertising marketing business. You build up these relationships, and I think that then you can really have a very ethical and understanding business, and a very promising business. When I left advertising in 2003, when I left marketing in 2003, the company I'm still with, again, because we practice very good, there were times I would tell a customer, I don't think you need a TV commercial. I will certainly lose money when I do that, but I gain their respect because, sure, I can make $50,000 on a TV commercial, and that's something they're probably not going to need, when probably a magazine ad would have worked for them instead. But by saying, you really didn't need me, you gain their respect and they will come back. Again, harmful products. Unfortunately, there are many salespeople that are pressured by management to sell a product that is not very well tested, or it may actually have some harmful effects to the consumers. And there's numerous instances where this happens. One of the most famous is the Ford Pinto. Was a car back in the 70s that the company, Ford Motor Company, purposely didn't make a fix on the car. That would have cost them $12 because they didn't want to spend that extra money to fix the cars. And sadly, it was something that it was fatal to a number of people. It was a rear-end collision, and the gas tank would explode. And again, this is very well documented. You can read all about it. But you're going to lose in the long run if you start doing that kind of marketing. People, especially today, people are so smart with marketing, and the consumers are so smart. They're going to know what to expect. I'm a big fan of technology, and yes, we see products today happening at a breakneck speed. I just bought a new mobile device. My mobile device was 8 years old. I mean, how many people hold on to a mobile device for 8 years? Most of today's generation, the younger generation, as soon as a new product becomes available, they're buying that new product. They're buying that new generation, which, makes them money. It makes the corporations more money, of course. But at the same time, if they don't keep up with the technology, and if they don't keep up with the competition, well, they're going to lag behind and then could potentially go out of business. So I can understand the merits of this, but we really have to think about how quickly do we bring a product to market. Too much materialism. Boy, I can tell you all about this story. We see this all the time where you buy, I'll give you a perfect example. Go out and buy a brand new car, and then your neighbor next door sees that you've got the new car, and he goes out and buys the new car, even though his car is 1 year old. It's called, in the United States, it's called keeping up with the Joneses. People have too much materialism, and they want what you have. That's kind of one of the problems we've had with marketing. We've kind of taught them that if person A has it, well, person B should be able to get it too. We talk about this, and one of the problems we have today too is the acquisition of companies. We're seeing so many smaller companies being gobbled up by large corporations. And I'm a big fan of small businesses. I support small businesses. But if you're a small business and a bigger company comes to town, just as an example, you're a small department store and somebody big like Walmart or Target were to come to town, your chances of survival are not very good. And many times what happens is the larger companies will say to the smaller companies, I'll give you $20 million I'll buy you out for $20 million or some abnormal price. Well, again, free market economy, if that was me, I'd probably say, sure, $20 million, and then, I would retire. So, it really is something that you have to consider. They also then start to make barriers of entry, make it harder for competitors to come into the market. Basically, what they're trying to do is corner the market and then have all of it to themselves. Again, I don't think that that's smart business. I think competition is very, very good for a free market economy. What we can do to take charge of this as consumers is we can start talking to our governments. We can start talking to them and saying, we need to have a voice. We need to be able to tell you what to do and how to do it. And of course, my vote in a democracy counts. So very important that you understand that people are listening to the consumer today. Many people in government are listening to the people. We have a buyer's rights, and this is really something that is very true. Nobody is out there, and I like to use this analogy, and certainly it's just an analogy. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying, hey, you've got to buy this or else. You're making a very consenting decision to buy this product. You may not need the product, but because of materialism, because of marketing, they're telling you that you need this product. I've seen so many times families or students buy new cameras or new clothing and or new technology that costs a lot of money that they can't even afford. And unfortunately, but they have to have the materialism. You don't have to have it. Again, I had an 8-year-old mobile device, and my daughters would say, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? That's so old." We certainly want the product to be safe. That is an expectation we should have with our customers, or the customer should have with their provider, with the sales company. Especially today, we get into foods, et cetera, we want a product that's going to be safe, that's not harmful. I think today, I know that today there was something about their local supermarket here in this area that had to have a recall because of some ground beef that they had that was tainted with E. coli. And so good for them that they said, oh my gosh, we have a problem here. We're recalling it, bring it back, we'll give you a full refund. That gives them some respect, and I respect them now. And that the product performs as claimed. I like to tell people how much money I spent on it. First off, if you've taken a look at my profile here, you can tell that I'm a little on the overweight side. And I can't tell you how much money I have spent on videos that tell me I'm going to lose, 2 inches off my waist in 5 hours, on vitamins that say it'll make me trim and fit in 2 weeks. Yeah, no, they don't, believe me. And I've spent a lot of money on all of those. So you should expect a product to work within a reasonable time. Maybe 1 or 2 people did have those results, but the majority of people Probably didn't, and certainly I didn't have those results. So there you go. We should be well informed about the product and all the aspects of the product. And you know, today with technology being what it is, we really have that ability to really kind of peel back the layers and look at what the product is. Personally, I'm in the process of buying a new car. And so I have available to me the World Wide Web, where I can find out everything about a product, the cars. I can do comparisons. There's 3 cars in particular that I'm looking at. And I can compare everything. I can compare their wheelbase, how many people can ride in it, what tires are on the cars. Just about everything that you can imagine is comparable. That is the kind of consumerism that we need. Again, we talked about questionable products and having the right to guard against them. We want to improve our quality of life, certainly, but how much influence do you need to improve that quality of life? And the last thing, and we're going to talk more about that, is preserving this world for future generations. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the next couple of slides. You know, when I was younger, we didn't really talk about environmentalism. And, you know, we really didn't do any practice that was environmentally safe. Come back to plastic water bottles. You know, we used to think nothing of throwing this stuff in the trash, which would then go into the landfill. And of course, you know, that was 50 years ago for somebody like me. And since that time, we've certainly learned the importance of recycling and the importance of being environmentally safe. But we really need to think about sustainability. Yes, we want to earn money. I'm a big fan of being profitable, but we really need to be thinking about the future of not only our children, but our children's children, and then the future generations after that, and how, you know, this is recycling the best thing for this. Maybe there's something else. Maybe we don't even use plastic anymore. Again, that's just, you know, a figure of speech. Pollution. There was a report in this morning's news about global warming again, and how you know, we still have the fossil fuels are still very abundant. Yes, we're trying to transition away from that in many areas, in many industries, but it still is a big problem. Fossil fuels are still a big problem. We need to be thinking about product stewardship. We all know what a product life cycle is, certainly the time from the introduction through the growth, through the maturity and the decline phases. We need to be thinking about what happens after the decline phase with this product. Where does it go? Does it end up in a landfill? Or does it get used for something else? Does it need to be used, or is it completely consumable? Those are all questions that we need to answer and understand. Clean technologies, this is a new buzzword in marketing, is providing clean technologies. That is going to be a competitive advantage for many companies in the future. And again, sustainability, the idea that we want to think about the future of our company, and that if we provide sustainability, a sustainable vision, then our company will profit from that, and then we will succeed. And that's what's kind of important. Some of the things we want to think about is how consumer-oriented are we with our marketing? What type of value is our marketing providing for the customers? Very important for us. Innovative marketing. You know, I talk with many students about our mobile devices. I have mine over there, my new mobile device, and how we're really just today scratching the surface of how we're going to be using this innovative marketing, the mobile device. But there are going to be so many more, not only with the mobile device, but, you know, outdoor advertising is going to get tied into the mobile device. The mobile device obviously is your location finder. Outdoor advertising then is going to get connected to it, and you're going to be walking down the street, and there's going to be a sign on the pizza parlor, and it's going to say, "Hey, Camilla, stop in and have a piece of pizza, because it knows you're walking right by there. And then we talk about, the sense of mission. What is the purpose of our company? Why are we here? What are we doing? And are we following that mission? Are we living up to the expectations that we have outlined already? We have to think about looking at the products and our marketing from the consumer's point of view. So many times we get wrapped up in the sale, because sometimes we get pressure from upper management. Gotta move the product, gotta move the product. Well, that's a good thing, but we have to look at it from the consumer's point of view too. Again, if we don't look at it from the consumer's point of view, we could run the risk of not doing well in our business model. I'm a big fan of customer service. Companies will buy anything of your products as long as they see the value in it, whether it's the product or the service. As long as you can provide value to them, you really will be, that is the way to go in the world. I've said this before, and I don't mean to make this sound like, I'm some bigwig or anything like that, but many of my customers used to say to me, Tony, I can find this stuff cheaper elsewhere, but nobody takes care of me the way you do. And I think that that's the kind of superior value your company needs to be thinking about. Going above and beyond the expectations that the customer has. Because if you're not doing that, there is somebody else out there that will do that and will do it at a cheaper price, and you're not going to be in business for very long. Again, you want to create value for your customers. They need to understand that you're doing this on their behalf. You want to treat your customers as their family. You certainly wouldn't give ill advice to a family member. Well, I don't know, maybe you do. I'm joking. But you certainly wouldn't give ill advice to a family member. And that's almost what you have to be thinking about here. These are people that are your family. Remember, we're building long-term relationships here. We're not here for the quick onesie-twosie sale. Ethics and corporate ethics. We need to establish, and upper management is really responsible for this, but you need to be influencing them with upper management. Everyone in the organization needs to be ethical and follow the set of rules outlined. Not only your company needs to be doing that, but any relations you have with outside vendors, they need to be thinking the same way. We need to be providing customer service. We need to be providing price and product development, and do it ethically and keep our customers in the fold when we do this. Free market, we talk about this. It's got to be legal. What we do has got to be legal. There are many companies that say, oh yeah, well, I don't care if it's legal or not. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We need to be thinking about the companies and the managers. You as a middle, or maybe an entry level or middle manager, should have a voice in this. You should be saying to upper management that that's what we need to do. Because remember, someday you're going to be upper management. As I said earlier, the companies that look towards the future this way are the ones that are going to thrive. The companies that don't, that are mired in the old tactics, they're going to fail eventually. Believe me on that. Again, customer service, taking care of the customer and having concerns for tomorrow's broader view. Now, I want to kind of wrap this up with kind of making you understand why I'm so passionate about this and why you should be so passionate about this. So I'm a baby boomer, okay? I was born in 1957, right in the middle of the baby boom. And, blame me. Our generation has done a great job of really kind of screwing up this planet, And we've done a lot of things that we've done to prosper as individuals, but we look at the overall planet and what's going on now with climate change, certainly it is very difficult. So we've done a good job of screwing things up, and here's what we're doing. We're handing it over to your generation and saying, it's your problem to deal with. Yeah, we're passing the buck on to you. And then you have to think about, how do I fix it? Because if we continue down this path, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So you're going to be the stewards of the earth. You're the ones that are going to need to take this and grasp it. And that's why, to me, this is such an important topic. I want to thank you very much today for giving me the opportunity to talk about this. Good luck in the future, and please stay in touch. Thank you very much.